Good morning. Thank you for all attending and helping us honor our fallen and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in our profession. It is together that we remember them, cherish their memories, and ingrain their lessons of duty and service into what we do every day. As a reminder, the assembly here will follow the Honor Guard Commander's orders when he calls out parade before an order. Those with headdress may salute when called to present arms and drop the salute at the command of attention. Again, thank you for sharing this day. Honor Guard Commander. Honor Guard Commander. March on the Honor Guard. Please rise for the singing of our national anthems.
Hey! Present! Up! Sentries, on guard! On guard, stand and eat! Stand, eat!
Please be seated. On behalf of the Fort McMurray Firefighters Association, I'd like to ask President Dale Young to the stage to offer remarks.
Good morning. It's my humble honor and privilege to speak to you today to mark the 35th annual Fallen Firefighters Memorial. On behalf of the Fort McMurray Firefighters Association, welcome and thank you for joining us this morning. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the terror attacks in New York City that changed the fire service forever. When those planes flew into the Twin Towers, causing their collapse, the lives of 343 New York firefighters were lost, as were the lives of more than 2,600 police, EMS workers, and innocent civilians. We are reminded almost daily of this tragic event, as first responders and civilians continue to pass away due to cancers and other related diseases as a result of the senseless terror attacks. More than 41,000 first responders have developed respiratory and cancer-related diseases, with more than 1,300 of them dying. This number, sadly, is still increasing every year. Today is the day we remember and honor not only those that paid the ultimate sacrifice on September 11th, but also the memory of the many IAFF members who have given their lives in the line of duty, including 5 of our own fallen members. Brother David Richard in 2003, Brother James Banting in 2011, Brother Larry Walker in 2018, Brother Rick Hawkins in 2020, and Brother Conrad Dion in 2021. 5 of our own members who paid the ultimate sacrifice. And this year, we must also honor those who have passed away in the line of duty as a direct result of complications due to COVID-19. The IAFF has lost no less than 53 brothers and sisters due to this terrible global pandemic. Unfortunately, this year, as was last year, the Firefighters Memorial in Colorado Springs will be altered to a live stream method due to the pandemic. This ceremony is held annually as a way for all the IAFF to gather and honor the memory of our fallen in a moving and mournful memorial. There, they are to be forever memorialized, and our purpose in this great IAFF is to be further reinforced. The ceremony reminds us of the important work that we do as we continue to work and advocate for the health and safety of our members, to ensure that our members go home after their shift safe, healthy, and emotionally secure, and to help ensure that they have a prosperous, fulfilling, and healthy career. Firefighting is not just the realm of the firefighters you see driving around the trucks and the ambulances. It takes a team of dedicated professionals for us to provide the service to our citizens that we do. Our dispatchers take the calls from the public, and with a calm and reassuring tone, they take the info needed to pass on to the responding crews. Our mechanics, with their specialized training, keep our apparatus in perfect working condition so they can safely get us to the scene. Our paramedics have the advanced life-saving skills to treat the sick and injured. Our training officers are responsible for imparting their knowledge on the rest of us, so we have the skills to perform whatever tasks are required of us. And our prevention officers work tirelessly to protect the public by ensuring fires don't even start in the first place. And when they do, they work to determine the cause so as to prevent the same fire from happening to someone else. We are all firefighters. It takes a team to be successful in this business, and no team member is more or less important than any other. So today, remember those who have served with us and who went before us, taken not in the line of duty, but nonetheless taken too soon. We mourn the loss of our co-workers, our fraternal brothers and sisters, but we must also celebrate their life as well. Today, remember their courage, their strength, and their humility. We also remember that fallen firefighters are moms and dads, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, neighbors and friends. Memorials and monuments, like the one we stand before today, gives us a place to reflect and to remember. It is our hope that you will take the time to reflect on the selfless acts of courage and duty, not only of those who have fallen, but of those who carry on. You didn't have to know them. To honor those who have died in the line of duty is one of the most important things we can do. However, the best tribute we can pay to our fallen is to promise, in their memory, that we will never stop fighting to improve firefighter and public safety. Let us never forget that the safety we enjoy in our daily lives often comes at a price. Always remember, never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. To offer remarks on behalf of Regional Emergency Services, I would like to welcome Deputy Chief Kelly Roberts to the podium.
Trying to say I'm short. Thank you for being here to remember those lost in the line of duty. I humbly acknowledge that the land on which we live, learn, work, and play is Treaty 8 territory, the traditional lands of the Cree, Dene, and the unceded territory of the Métis. I also want to thank the following people for attending today: the Honourable Mayor Scott, our Councillor Jane Stroud, MLA Tani Yao, and if I've missed any of the other councillors who are planning on attending today, I said Jane Stroud. Oh, and I'm told that Councillor Sheila Lalonde is here as well, along with our CAO Jamie Doyle, and our Deputy CAO Matthew Huff. I must start with recognizing that it's been 20 years since the unbelievable events of September 11th. I remember that day clearly. I first heard the news on the radio that morning as the events unfolded. I was glued to it, in shock and disbelief. Then as the images were released and the story unfolded, it was in awe of the people who ran towards the chaos. It wasn't until after that the impact of life was fully known. 441 first responders, the largest loss of emergency personnel in American history, lost their lives that day. For them, we take a moment today to remember. Today is also a time to pause as part of the Fallen Firefighter Memorial. The daily work of firefighting comes with inherent risks. Those risks are not what children think of when they dream of being a firefighter when they grow up. They gravitate to what a firefighter stands for and the strength they see when they look at them, and perhaps the cool red trucks and sirens. As you start your career as a firefighter, you learn more about the dangers involved, and yet it does not stop you from continuing. All around us are people who have the strength and character to run towards disorder and not away. For the last 6 years, I've been able to see the character of a fire department firsthand. I've seen our fire family stand up against the power of a wildfire engulfing our town. When help was needed, you came. Both urban and rural fire department members responded to their fire halls without even needing to receive a call. And when help was needed, our local partners came from industry and from forestry. The firefighters came from around the province. This is the basis and the character of what makes a fire department. It was demonstrated on September 11th, and it's been demonstrated here. I've seen you leaving your family, your home, your belongings, and coming to the fire hall. I've seen you lose your home, and yet you keep on going. I've seen you work so hard, you had to be made to stop. I've seen your strength and your resilience. I also know that this strength was not just a rare example, but that it rests at the core of each of you, ready to be called upon. I know because I saw it again during the 2020 floods and throughout the pandemic. When the call comes in, when the tones go off, you respond. This September 11th and the 20th anniversary of the terror attacks is an opportunity to remember those who were lost on that day and since. While reflecting, there is a lot that has changed. 9/11 brought to light the impact of exposure to toxic fumes and particles that are inherent risk to firefighters. Over the years, there's also been an increased awareness of the risk of psychological injuries for those in public safety. A goal for the Regional Emergency Services is to enhance the health and well-being of its members. The awareness to the exposure risks of firefighting has resulted in increased emphasis on post-exposure procedures, the importance of which our department is embracing. With the development of our wellness fitness program, I hope we can continue to improve the health and well-being of our department, lowering the risk of line-of-duty deaths. Standing in front of the memorial today, we have an opportunity to remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Today is a day to reflect on those you personally know and lost, and it is a time to come together to remember, share stories, and support each other. Thank you for taking a moment today to come together.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Roberts. On behalf of the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo, I'd like to ask Mayor Don Scott to come to the podium. Thanks.
Thanks very much. And their names have been said, but I'm just going to point out the councillors. I think one might have been missed. We have Councillor Vernon Murphy is here, Sheila Lalonde, Jane Stroud. I think I've got everybody. We've got our senior administrative team here today, Jamie Doyle and Matthew Huff, and I see a lot of other members of our administrative team. Thank you all for being here. I'll tell you what I think when I think about a day like today and reflect on the last 20 years. I thank God every day when I wake up for our first responders and for the members of the IAFF. And there's one additional step I'll take in that. I thank God for their families. And I see a lot of families of our members here today. Because without the support of families, I can't imagine that they would be able to meet the many challenges that the men and women of our services go and face every day and the risk that they face every day. So to all the family members, I am deeply, deeply grateful. And on behalf of the municipality, thank you for supporting your husbands and wives for all the work that they do. We recognize the importance of it. For you who are on the front lines, thank you. I recognize that government has a responsibility. There's a lot of diseases that have been spoken about. There's a lot of risk that our first responders face. And I believe government has a critical responsibility to look after our first responders and our IAFF members the same way that our IAFF members and our first responders look after this community and look after us. And you certainly have my commitment going forward that I'll always be an advocate for that, whether I'm in government or not. And I know that you have many members of our council here today who think the same way. So thank you for all you do. And I know this is a very solemn occasion and it's a difficult day for many, but thank you for all that you do for our region, and thank you for protecting the people of this region. And thank you to the family members for supporting your husbands and wives. We're certainly grateful for it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. To bring remarks on behalf of the government of Alberta, I'd like to invite MLA Tanny Yao to the stage.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here today on our dignitaries guest, Mayor Scott, allied agencies with our oil company, mutual aid representatives. I had a big speech planned, but Conrad Dion sort of sunk in to me a little bit here. So I just wanted to say that it is an honor and a pleasure to have served here. And that I hope you do all remember Conrad Dion and other members that we've lost. Conrad was the funniest son of a gun that you ever did meet. And he kept things light, and he built a team, and he was a good leader. And he was our leader when we lost another co-worker. And it made me think about Mark Cornell, another young firefighter that we lost on that highway that wasn't twinned. And I just hope that we all remember, and I just want to thank you all for your service and the honor to stand with you. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Tanny. To read the dispatcher's poem, I'd like to call dispatcher Jenna Gould to the podium.
The shift is over. I wave my partners goodbye. I get in my car and I let out a soft cry. I don't want to be weak, but sometimes it's tough. I did what I could today, but was it enough? So Lord, if you're listening, please hear my prayer. This one's for the callers who are in deep despair. Please grant them the courage when they feel nothing but fear. Surround them with comfort, knowing their help is near. And when they're in pain, give them strength to hold on. Give them courage to pull through when all hope is gone. Now, Lord, if I may say one for me and my team, some days we take on more than what it may seem. Grant us patience, alertness, and confidence too. Compassion and empathy, Lord, just like you. Grant us trust and strong friendships with those who sit close, for it's them who console us when we need it the most. Above all, help us appreciate each and every day, for we all know how fast it can be taken away. Lord, you gave me this calling. With it, I'll do all that I can. Yes, I'm a 911 dispatcher. It's all part of your plan. And for trusting me with this job, I'll say thank you again. I know I'm truly blessed, my Lord. Good night and amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. To read the Firefighters Prayer, I'd like to call Senior Firefighter Adam Bugden to the podium.
Thank you, Heather. The Firefighters Prayer. Brother, when you weep for me, remember it was meant to be. Lay me down when you leave, remember I'll be at your sleeve. In every dark and choking hall, I'll be there as you slowly crawl. On every roof in driving snow, I'll be there and you will know. In cellars hot with searing heat, at windows where a gate you meet. In closets where young children hide, you know I'll be there at your side. The house from which I now respond is overstaffed with heroes gone. Men and women who answered one last bell, did the job and did it well. As firefighters, we understand that death's card dealt in our hand. A card we hope we'll never play, but one we hold there anyway. That card is something we ignore as we crawl across a weakened floor. For we know that we're the only prayer for anyone that might be there. So remember as you wipe your tears, the joy I knew throughout the years. As I did the job I love to do, I pray that thought will see you through.
Thank you, Adam. The bell ceremony. The ceremony is a long-standing tradition of the fire service. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the sound of the bell that signaled the beginning of each day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each emergency was sounded by a bell, which summoned these brave souls to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow citizens. When the fire was over, or the emergency had come to an end, it was again the sound of the bell that signaled to all the completion of the call. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, making the ultimate sacrifice, it was the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. We use these traditions as symbols which reflect honor and respect to those who have given their lives in the line of duty. To symbolize the devotion that these brave individuals had for their duty, a special signal of 3 rings, 3 times each, represents the end of their duties and that they will be returning to their quarters. And so, for those who have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow man, their task is completed. Their duty's well done. For these individuals, we signal their last alarm. Honor Guard Commander,
Sir.
carry on with the bell ceremony.
Honor guard! Honor guard! Untitled! Shut! Sentry! Shoulder! Arms! Honor guard! Present! Arms! Honor guard! Untitled! Shut! Sentry! Order! Arms!
Please rise and replace headdress.
Right, present! Arms! Right, untitled! Shut! Sentry! Shoulder! Arms! Sentries, present! Arms! Sentries, resting your arms, reverse! Reverse!
Honor Guard Commander, carry on.
Right, present! Arms! Right, untitled! Shut!
Please be seated for the laying of the wreaths. On behalf of the Fort McMurray Firefighters Association, Dale Young. On behalf of Regional Emergency Services, Deputy Chief Kelly Roberts. On behalf of Syncrude Emergency Services, Fire Chief Byron Stacy. On behalf of the RCMP. On behalf of the Government of Alberta, MLA Taniao. On behalf of the Regional Municipality of Wood Buffalo, Mayor Don Scott. Honor Guard Commander, carry on.
Sentries! Sentries, present! Out! Sentries, shoulder! Out! Sentries, Edwards! Start! Honor Guard! Right! Start! Honor Guard! By the left wing! March!
Thank you for attending our ceremony today. For those that are interested, the Honor Guard will be meeting at the Legion for some comradeship, and all are welcome. The Legion has reserved their patio for us, so feel free to pop in for a visit. Thank you again.